Hello, my friends. Welcome back to the second day of our 10-minute English challenge. Today, we travel to the high, misty mountains. In a small village, there lived a young man who was the best archer anyone had ever seen. He could hit a bullseye from 100 paces. He could shoot an apple off a tree while riding a horse. He was fast. He was accurate, and he was very, very proud of his skill. The young archer loved to show off. He would stand in the town square and shout, "Is there anyone in this world who can shoot better than me?" He wanted everyone to clap and cheer for him. He believed that his eyes were the sharpest and his hands were the steadiest. But pride is like a fog. It makes you feel big, but it stops you from seeing the path ahead clearly. One day, a traveler told the young man about an old master who lived at the very top of the mountain. They say he doesn't even need to look at the target to hit it. The traveler whispered. The young archer laughed. "Impossible. I will go to this old man and show him what a real champion looks like." He packed his finest bow and his straightest arrows and began the long climb. At the top of the mountain, the young man found the old master, but there was no archery range. Instead, there was a deep, terrifying canyon. A single, thin log lay across the canyon, forming a bridge over a 1,000-foot drop. The old man was sitting quietly on a rock, watching the clouds move below his feet. He looked very peaceful, almost as if he were part of the mountain itself. The young man shouted, "Old man, I am here to challenge you." The master looked up and smiled gently. He pointed to the thin log over the abyss. "If you wish to show me your skill," the master said, "you must walk to the middle of that log. From there, you must hit that tree on the other side of the canyon." The young man looked at the drop and felt his heart start to race. The young archer stepped onto the log, but as soon as he looked down at the sharp rocks far below, his legs began to shake. The wind felt like a giant pushing him. His hands, which were usually so steady, were now wet with sweat. He tried to pull his bow, but he was so afraid of falling that he couldn't even aim. He retreated to the solid ground, his face pale with fear. Without saying a word, the old master stood up. He walked out to the very center of the log as if he were walking on a wide road. He didn't look down. He looked through the air. He pulled his bow with a slow, graceful motion. He didn't seem to be trying at all. He released the arrow, and it flew straight and true, hitting the center of the tree. Thwack! The master walked back to the young man. "You have much skill with your bow," the master said, "but you have little skill with the mind that lets the arrow go. You are a master of the tool, but you are not yet a master of yourself. You can hit the target when the ground is safe, but can you hit it when your life is on the line?" My friends, as we continue this 10-minute challenge, I want you to think about your English. When you are alone at home, you feel confident. But when you have to speak to a stranger or in a meeting, your legs start to shake, just like the young archer on the log. This is because you are focusing on the fear of making a mistake, instead of focusing on the target. Real mastery comes from silence, not just the silence of the mouth, but the silence of the mind. The old master hit the target because he didn't listen to the voice of fear. He didn't think about the rocks below or what people would say if he fell. He was simply one with the arrow to speak English fluently. You must learn to quiet the noise of your own judgment. How do we practice this silence? We do it by listening to long stories like this one. While you listen, your mind might try to tell you, "This is too long," or "I don't understand that word." Let those thoughts pass like clouds. Don't fight them, but don't follow them. Stay still in your focus. Every minute of deep listening is a minute of training your mind to be steady on the log. The young archer wanted to be the best. He wanted the gold coins and the cheers. But the old master didn't care about being the best. He only cared about being present. When you stop trying to impress people with your English and start trying to connect with them, the pressure disappears. You move from the ego to the heart, and your words begin to flow like a river. Did you notice how the master moved? He wasn't stiff or tense. He was soft and relaxed. In English, we often think we need to be hard on ourselves to learn. But tension is the enemy of fluency. When you relax your shoulders and breathe deeply, your brain works better. Softness is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength and control. An arrow cannot reach the target if the archer is shaking. Your goals, whether they are a new job, moving to a new country, or making new friends, are the target. Your English is the arrow, but you are the archer. If you want the arrow to fly straight, you must work on the person holding the bow. Work on your peace, and the results will follow. The young man didn't leave the mountain that day. He stayed with the master for many years. He learned that the long climb up the mountain was just as important as the shot itself. Your journey in this challenge is a climb. It is steep, and sometimes the air is thin, but the view from the top is worth every drop of sweat. You are getting higher every minute. We are in the final chapters of today's 10-minute journey. Feel the stillness in your room right now. You are doing something incredible. You are training your brain to exist in a different language. You are finding your center. No matter how shaky the log of life feels today, you have this moment of calm and growth. You are the silent archer of your own life. When the master let the arrow go, he trusted it. He didn't try to control it once it left the bow. When you speak, trust your words. Don't overthink. Don't try to pull the arrow back once it's in the air. Let it fly. Some arrows will hit the center, and some will miss, but every shot makes you a better archer. To speak is to trust. In the village, people only talked about the bullseye, but the master taught the young man to value the silence after the shot. This is the moment where you learn the most, after you have a conversation in English. Don't immediately judge yourself. Instead, sit in the silence. Listen to the echo of your words. Feel the growth in your heart. This quiet reflection is the secret fuel of progress. It is the time when the brain truly absorbs what it has practiced. My friends, you have traveled far today. You have listened to over 10 minutes of deep storytelling. This focus is your golden arrow. Many people in the world today have lost the ability to focus for 10 seconds. But you have stayed for 10 minutes. You are becoming a master of your own attention. Carry this focus with you into your work, your family, and your studies. When you control your attention, you control your destiny. You are no longer just an archer. You are the master of the mountain. Congratulations! You have officially completed the second 10-minute English challenge. You have proven, once again, that you have the endurance of a legend and the focus of a master. Go out into the world today with the calm and steady eyes of the silent archer. Like, subscribe, and share this journey with those who are still afraid of the canyon. I am so incredibly proud of your stillness today. I will see you in our next 10-minute journey. My friends,